Well, hello there, hopeful investors. Today we're going to do a portfolio review, do a little dive in and see what the total value of all of my investments are, the estimated annual dividend income. Little hint, it has gone up in the last month, which is super exciting. We're going to look at the current holdings that I have, some of the newest additions to the portfolio, and then talk about the plan moving forward. And let's hope that Mr. Warren Buffett is correct, that the most important quality for an investor is temperament, not intellect. I'm taking this with a sense of humor, doing my best to research as I go, and hope that those B student grades that I had in college are not going to impede my progress. Okay, here we go. So the first step, of course, is to review where we were. So this is the last update that I provided to y'all, and we had a total portfolio value, which you can see on the top left-hand corner there, of $56,940.80. And brace yourself, because it has dropped a significant amount since then. But what's most important here is the little gauge on the left-hand side, that annual dividend income tracker. And at that point in time, we were estimating that we would be receiving about $2,721.11 over the course of a year. The story here is that the portfolio value has gone down. So again, we just looked at it. We were just under 57,000, and now we are just at about 52,500. But I'm not worried, you guys, because look at my dividend income. That has gone up. So we moved again from about $2,721 the last time we looked at this, and now we're up to $2,829. So we've got a little jump in the last month of about $108 in annual dividend income. So I'm pretty happy about that, and I'm just going to ride this roller coaster, keep popping the Dramamine, although not medical advice, you guys, because it is a little nauseating to watch it go up and down each day, but we're riding it out. Let's look next at the monthly dividend payments that we've received year to date. So you guys can see from looking at this chart here on the top that in January, our very first dividend payments that we received were only 60 cents. And I want to share this with you guys. So hopefully it gives somebody a sense of hope and is like, you know what? I'm going to throw that first 50 bucks in. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to buy a share of something, because I'm going to tell you, month over month, year over year, these dividends are going to compound and they're going to create a beautiful passive income stream for you. So we started at 60 cents. By March, we were at $22. By June, we were up to $167. And in September, you guys, we just had our very best month ever at $220.27. So stay the course. Little bits do count, and it does add up. Looking below at our annual dividend income, you guys, you can see what we expect to receive from each of the different companies in our portfolios. And you can see here, we have a total of 33 holdings. There is one position that I will be selling out of. I'm just kind of waiting to time it a little bit better because it's at a loss right now, and that would be the Barings Business Development Company, which right now is pushing at about $56, almost $57 in annual dividend income for me right now. Just doesn't fit the bill, doesn't make me super comfortable, so it's got to be pulled from the portfolio. I'm just waiting for a better time to do it. Some of the newer things that I've added, I've got that one share of Apple, that whopping 92 cents a year, because I only have one share. Definitely a position that I'd like to add more of. The other position that I added is Arbor Realty, and I did add, I believe it's just about 5 shares I have of Arbor Realty, and that's going to give me about $7.80. It's got a really, really high yield, and I was pretty excited when I did a deep dive into that company in terms of the metrics there, so I was happy to add that. The other company we added was Home Depot. So those are kind of the 3 newest additions. Where's the most of my dividend income coming from on an annual basis? Well, it's going to be Altria Group. MO is going to give us about $387 each year, followed by, it could be a tie between Realty Income at $241. Realty Income takes the win on that one. Main Street Capital about $235, and JEPI $210 each year. So what the big goal is that I'm going to continue to chip away at little by little is really increasing my position in SCHD. And that's, if you're not aware of it, it's the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF. So it is a basket of stocks, and there is just a beautiful mix in there of wonderful stocks that most of us want to invest in anyway. Provides a really strong dividend, and I'm a fan. So actually, let's just take a quick peek at it. We'll look at the Schwab Strategic Trust US Dividend Equity ETF. So you guys can see right now they are down 10% in the last year. Year to date, we're down almost 18%, you guys. So we got a nice little sale going on. Dividend yield right now is 3.73%. And the expense ratio is only 0.06%. I recently did a video on 5 different ETFs that you guys should go take a look at it. And this was actually one of them in there. And you can see from an ETF standpoint, look at these ETFs grades, just phenomenal. Let's look at their dividends real quick. And you guys can see it's an A+ here. They have a 12.10% 5-year dividend growth rate, which is fantastic. They've been growing this dividend for 9 years, so it is a favorite. I do have a little experiment going on. I've got a video in the works coming out in probably the next week or so about what I'm doing to dollar cost average into my position of SCHD, so I'll share that with you guys really soon. Back to the total portfolio. So one of the things that I've been kind of working to do in the last couple of months is really look at what my diversification is here. And so I have evened a few things out. You guys can see off the rip, I'm pretty heavy in financials, healthcare. Financials I'm at 18.3% of my portfolio. Healthcare is at 13.7%. Consumer staples is at 15% of my portfolio. So still have, I think, a little bit of room there. Let's take a peek at how this all breaks out. And you can see these are my 33 different holdings that I have right now across our different portfolios. Looks like AbbVie is probably my biggest holding at 8%, followed by Altria Group, MO, at just under 8%. So I've got some shifting to do. Looking at SCHD right now, you can see it's only 5% of my portfolio. So my goal is really, really to grow that position. So that becomes kind of the foundation of our portfolio. So looking at my positions, let's dig in, you guys, and see what I've got. Okay, so zoomed in a little bit further. Now I've got all of my holdings just in alphabetical order because it's just easier for me in my brain, and that's how I work. So you can see I've got my 1 share of Apple. I've got 31 shares of AbbVie. I have those 5 shares that I just bought of Arbor Realty. Thank you, friends out there who advised me and said, hey, go take a peek at this company. I'm so excited about that one. Look at the dividend yield, you guys, 13.57%, and the metrics are pretty good overall. Algonquin in the utility sector, I have 163 shares of. BBDC, this is that Barings Business Development company that I'm actually going to be selling out of this position. I'm just kind of waiting to time this a little bit better. CareTrust REIT, we have 22 shares. Chevron, we have 12 shares. EPD, which is Enterprise Products Partners, I have 3.2 shares, so not a huge holding in that. Home Depot, another one of my newer additions. I've got 9 shares there. HDV, I have just under 2 shares of, and this is the iShares High Dividend Yield ETF. And look at my shares of Hershey, you guys. I haven't moved it. I need to move it. I probably should just start dollar cost averaging in. I've got 86 shares of Intel. Jeppy, I have 37 shares of. Johnson & Johnson, I have 9.5 shares of. I'm going to scroll a little bit. Don't get dizzy, you guys. Lockheed Martin, just over 6 shares of Lockheed Martin. Main Street Capital, 89 shares. Medtronic, I have 10 shares. 3M, I have 7 shares, which I'm just going to sit on, you guys. I'm not really going to do much with 3M right now, but just kind of wait and see what happens. I have Altria Group, which is MO. I have over 100 shares of that. There's something about having 100 shares of something. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like once you get to that 100 point, you're like, oh, I actually have something here. It's kind of exciting. Okay, I'm rambling. Anyway, Realty Income, I have 81 shares, another position that I will likely continue to grow in, and they are down right now in share price, and we've got a 5.12% yield right now, which is pretty nice. So that was another position I probably will add more to in the coming weeks. Olin, I have 28.8 shares of. Pepsi, 3.7 shares. Again, another one I would like to add more of. We've got Pfizer, 14 shares of Pfizer, 15 shares of Procter & Gamble. Scrolling again. Roll with me, you guys. Philip Morris, 14 shares, 12 shares of Raytheon. We've got 40 shares of SCHD. Again, that's my big goal, you guys. I'm going to continue to grow this. Stag, which is also another more recent addition to the portfolio at 20 shares. You can see I haven't had any dividends reinvested quite yet. It's too perfect a number. AT&T, again, it's another one that's over the 100 club at 129 shares. Right now, we've got a 7.24% yield. TD Bank, again, another one I'd like to continue to grow. Almost a 4.5% dividend yield. We've got some solid financials there at 45 shares. 31 shares of T. Rowe Price. And every time I log into Seeking Alpha and I look at T. Rowe, I've got this crazy alert, so I need to dig in on that a little bit and see what's going on. VOO, which is the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, and I am still at 0.788 shares and 31 shares of Verizon. So that's kind of my portfolio, you guys. What do you guys have? What is in your portfolio? What do you love? What are you like, meh, I got to get rid of this right now? And what are you planning to add in the next month? I'm really, really curious. So let's go back to my dividend dashboard and just revel in the fact that the needle is moving, you guys. It might be a slow move, but it still gives me hope, and I'm super psyched about it. Now, because I am so focused on building my positions in SCHD, I want you guys to go look at this video right here, and this is 5 fantastic ETFs, and they all have really pretty low payout ratios. So go ahead and take a peek at that right now. Just push that button.